Welcome back to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. We're going to explore a fascinating, honestly almost jarring contrast right at the heart of our modern internet infrastructure. On one side, we've got this massive explosion of capital and silicon, and on the other, a quiet, human-powered engine running on digital pocket change. It's literally a tale of two completely different web realities, and it tells us a ton about where technology is heading and what it might be leaving behind. So let's dive right into this with a question that really sets the stage for us. What actually separates the trillion-dollar AI gold rush from the internet's most visited free encyclopedia? We interact with both of these forces almost every single day, yet the machinery keeping them alive couldn't be more different. To really grasp this structural deep dive into the dual engines of the web, we first need to take a look at the current temperature of the tech industry. Section 1. The current tech reality. The beautiful chaos of the tech sector today is captured perfectly by these recent headlines straight from TechCrunch. They really paint quite a picture. You've got the AI hype cycle inflating everything. I mean, we're literally looking at a sandwich shop, Jersey Mike's, having its IPO narrative tangled up in AI hype. Meanwhile, over in the physical hardware world, Chevy's all-American EV truck is really struggling to find buyers. And on the software front, platforms just keep marching onto our phones, like OpenClaw arriving on mobile. We're in this wild moment where the promise of artificial intelligence is absolutely dominating the conversation, and sometimes it's completely overshadowing the physical realities of consumer tech. But even amidst all that deafening hype, reality does have a way of asserting itself. Just look at this quote from Mark Zuckerberg. He recently told his staff that AI agents haven't progressed as quickly as he'd hoped. That specific quote is so grounding. It shows us that even the absolute titans of the industry, the ones pouring billions into research and development, are getting reality checks on the timeline of this tech. The hype is massive, no doubt, but the actual functional progress of things like autonomous AI agents, that just takes time. Section 2. Powering the AI boom. 81. I want you to just think about that number for a second. 81%. According to recent data, NVIDIA's technologies currently power 81% of the world's 500 fastest supercomputers. That is an absolute monopoly on the computational heavy lifting of the modern world. When we talk about the AI boom, we are fundamentally talking about the physical infrastructure that NVIDIA has built. They're the ones providing the essential picks and shovels for this entire gold rush. And look, it's not just raw processing power we're talking about here. It's a deeply specialized ecosystem. Let's see how this builds out across some different industries. NVIDIA isn't just selling chips. They are selling purpose-built platforms. For the automotive sector, they have the Drive platform handling autonomous vehicles and in-vehicle computing. Over in robotics, the Isaac platform powers AI perception and physical simulation. And for industrial simulation, the Omniverse platform is out there creating digital twins, which are basically physically accurate models of real-world factories and systems. Breaking it down like this really helps us see their massive reach. They are embedding themselves into the fundamental architecture of how things move, how machines learn, and how we even simulate reality itself. So the crucial point here is that we are looking at a highly coordinated effort to scale physical AI, cloud computing, and intelligent agents. This is an infrastructure stretching from massive, power-hungry data centers all the way down to the local edge, meaning the devices sitting right in front of you. It is a hyper-lucrative trillion-dollar architecture, and it's built purely on a for-profit paradigm. Section 3. The cost of open knowledge. Now, consider the ultimate contrast, Wikipedia. It's been 25 years, and it is still totally free. It is created by people, not machines. There are no ads. There are no paywalls. As their own messaging puts it, they aren't here to make a profit off your attention. It is still the internet we were promised. We are talking about one of the top 10 most visited websites in the entire world. It's a fundamental pillar of human knowledge, and it survives entirely on user goodwill and human contribution. But here is the statistic that should really give us pause. Less than 2%. Less than 2% of Wikipedia's readers actually donate to keep it running. Think about that for a second. In a world where tech companies are valued in the trillions, the largest encyclopedia in human history relies on a tiny, tiny fraction of its users just to keep the servers turned on. So what does it actually cost to run a nonprofit pillar of the open web? Well, let's break down their $189.7 million budget. 45% goes directly to technology. That is $85.4 million just to sustain the infrastructure for a top 10 global website without showing you a single ad.
Another 32% goes to volunteer support, which provides grants and legal backing for the global community that actually writes the articles. Then you've got 12% for fundraising and 11% for general and administrative expenses. It's a remarkably lean operation when you compare it to the massive scale of its global impact.
And it all boils down to this incredibly humble plea. Wikipedia asks readers a simple question. Has this site given you at least $2.75 worth of knowledge recently? That's their baseline ask, just $2.75. They note that if everyone who found it useful gave just that small amount, they would hit their yearly goal in a matter of hours. It's a pretty powerful reminder of the fragility of the open web. Section 4. Two sides of tech.
Okay, so here is the core contrast of today's explainer. On one side, we have the infrastructure of AI. It is highly capitalized, it's relentlessly hardware-driven, and it commands $1 trillion market valuation. It is the realm of supercomputers and massive corporate investment. But on the other side, we have Wikipedia. It's human-driven, it's donation-funded, and it basically serves as an open public square for the entire globe. Both of these are absolutely vital infrastructures of the modern internet, but they operate on completely opposed paradigms. One relies on selling compute power to the highest bidder, while the other relies on a 2% sliver of its users chipping in a few dollars.
Which leaves us with this final, pressing question. As the hardware-intensive, heavily funded AI infrastructure scales up to incredible new heights, how will the traditional, human-driven open web keep pace? Will the internet we were promised be able to survive in an era dominated by the internet of machines? It's definitely something we all need to think about the next time we read a free article or see a flashy headline about the latest AI breakthrough. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I absolutely can't wait to dive into our next topic with you.